formula. The quadratic formula is not something you have to memorize. You just need to look at your reference sheet with the formula on it and apply it. Where do the A, B, and C come from the formula? Well, it comes from the quadratic equations. So you've got your A in front of your x squared, your B in front of your x, and your C, which is your constant term, the number by itself. So let's just practice finding your A, B, and C. Your A is 3. Your B is -2. And your C is 49. That is your A, B, and C. Now that's not all that you're going to be doing when you're solving these problems. It's just it's important to be able to find your A, B, and C. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time doing the problem to begin with. So I'm going to write down the formula. -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times A times C all over 2A. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to write down my A and my B and my C. My A is 2, my B is 5, and my C is 3. What we're going to do is we're going to plug those values into the formula. So it's -b. So I have a -5 plus or minus the square root of b squared, b5 squared. 5 times 5 is 25. Minus 4 times A, which is 2, times C, which is 3. All over 2 times A, which is 2. Now it's just plain simplifying. So I've got -5 plus or minus the square root of 25 minus 8 times 3 is 24. All over 4. -5 plus or minus the square root of 1 plus 4. What this does is it lets me break this down into 2 parts. I've got -5 plus the square root of 1 is 1 over 4. And I've got -5 minus 1, the square root of 1, is 1 all over 4. This gives me -4 over 4, which is -1. There's one of my answers. And this one gives me -6 over 4, which is -3/2. I would not have used the quadratic formula on this one. I probably would have factored it and solved it in that form and still came up with the same answers. The next one that we have here is the quadratic formula. We have A is 5, B is 3, and C is -1. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug those values in. The formula again is -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2 times a. Alright, plugging in those numbers, I have -3 plus or minus the square root of 3 squared, which is 9, minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. One of the things that people are going to make mistakes on is their negative and positives. So we're going to have -3 plus or minus the square root of. This is 9. I would suggest changing this to plus the opposite here. So you've got -4 times -1, which is 4 times 5, which is 20, all over 2 times 5, which is 10. And actually, let's jump back up here for a second and just change that. And I'll change this one as well. So I'll change this to be 10, and then I'll put this was 2 times 5. I just didn't plug in the 5. Alright, so what I end up getting is -3 plus or minus the square root of 29 over 10. This is the final answer because the square root of 29 cannot be broken down. So I've got two answers, -3 plus the square root of 29 over 10, and I've got -3 minus the square root of 29 over 10. These would be two decimal answers, but we don't need to figure out the decimal answer.